Hi, I'm Nick, and I practice in Northern Ireland. I'm originally from Mauritius, but I'm also Australian. And I've been practicing for 24 years. I'm 46, and I started Nitro 3 years ago. So I suppose before I started, I was stagnating a little bit in practice and was a little bit lost, felt a little bit isolated. Feeling isolated really makes you feel that you're not getting anywhere. It's a little bit like it's almost like you've got your foot on the brake, or you're looking for the accelerator and you just can't find it. So yeah, kind of losing your mojo a little bit. I've been thinking of joining a group for a little while, but just didn't know exactly which one, because I've done coaching before and nothing really resonated with me. So, and by chance I saw Lawrence at a conference, the UCA conference, and it was something that he said that really sort of made me click. And then by chance I went to an event that he ran in Dublin, and it was great, and I've been part of the Nitro group since. I just felt that I was surrounded by a group of like-minded people. So they were in the same situation as me. They'd been in practice for a little while, and they just wanted a little bit more. So I knew the fire was in me. I just kind of lost track of it a little bit. So I just needed someone to throw some embers on it, to throw some fuel the fire, you know. So yeah, and it's just really coming together with a group of people, and you kind of need someone to orchestrate it. It's a little bit like an orchestra, really. So everyone is adding to the music. You do need someone to conduct it and to guide you along the way. What I tried to do before I joined Nitro was to throw money at the problem. I was constantly buying stuff that was to try and boost the practice numbers, but what I really needed to do was to sort of look inside and see how I was doing and where I was in practice. So the problem wasn't on the outside, it was on the inside. So it was how I was thinking, my thought process, and how I saw myself in practice and what I was bringing to it. Trying to find a remedy to how I had stagnated. Well, first of all, it had been a while for me to stagnate, and I just convinced myself that, you know, that was the norm. And that's the biggest mistake I'd made, because years went by and it still remained the same. And I kind of thought that, okay, for my practice to increase or for my practice to improve, I need to maybe get a few more new patients. So I had to advertise for that, so I went on a quest of doing radio advertising, which is really, really expensive, for 3 years. And it just brought me a little bit of a glitch, like it improved my practice numbers a little bit, but not really by a lot. And I thought of giving up, thought of maybe changing direction. I was a little bit lost, really. So yeah, I loved being in practice. I loved looking after patients, but I just felt a little bit bored, maybe, with it. I still sometimes feel that, but then I just check myself and, you know, work out that maybe I need to do certain things to try and improve. What gave me the courage to keep on going is because I have a family to look after. So I'm married, I have 3 beautiful children, and I needed to look after them. But I also knew that I needed to teach them the lessons of life, you know. So I chose to be a chiropractor, and I've loved being a chiropractor, still do, and will always love being a chiropractor. And I kind of wanted my kids to see that and know that it's important to try and improve things. You know, you just don't give up. Yeah, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. We say that it's better to look at it than for it. So, you know, and I then try to reverse that. I had to look for me, in a way. So I had to find how to make myself better, so that, and the practice followed from that. The lowest point of my journey along the way was just feeling quite depleted. and maybe carrying a little bit too much weight, and just feeling, my son's got these 3 hamsters and these couple of hamsters, and they're just running in the wheel. So I just felt that's what I was doing constantly. And it's okay. And I kind of numbed myself to it. Felt a little bit numb. I went to Dublin. There was an event. I think it was an accelerator, and there was maybe about 10 people there, and just liked what was being said. It was quite personal. So, and that's the great thing about Laurence and Nitro. Laurence takes it a little bit more personal. There's no script. It's not a formula. It's kind of it kind of makes you look on the inside and how to fix things from the inside out, basically. So, and I quite like that. And there was a connection as well. The changes for me have been steady and I wouldn't say slow. It's just been steady, and it's taken a bit of time. And the changes have been, things started to improve, my numbers improved. I started to not feel isolated anymore. I hung around chiropractors, like-minded people, but chiropractors, which I had stopped in a way, kind of, and that brought in the isolation. I started to love being in practice a little bit more and just make the right changes. And I've moved on from that. My life is busier now than it used to be. So when I started Nitro, we only had 2 children. No, actually, when I started Nitro, we just had a 3rd baby. So it was busy. It's busier now. But my practice is busier. Since joining Nitro, what I've found is every time I'd hit a ceiling and I thought, okay, this is my maximum, this is where I want to push myself to, being part of that group made me realize that I can push a little bit more, that there were avenues to grow further. Being part of Nitro has really kind of moved me forward to try and, reach a level where I'm cruising in practice. So Laurence talks about having a freedom practice, so that's what we're moving towards, to try and get things to a level where we're happy and we're earning making a really good living and having a great time with the family, and also having time to express myself, because that's sometimes it's not about making more money, but it's about having more time to be yourself, so, and finding that balance. It's a little bit like having certainty in your life and having a degree of uncertainty, where the degree of uncertainty is where you're yourself. The degree of certainty is where you're doing good in business.